Hey guys, it's Cruise Tips with Christina and welcome back, or welcome if you're brand new. Today I'll be going through 10 tips to save money on your next Holland America vacation. Watch until the end because these tips will save you $500 at least, not exaggerating. Also, at the very end, I'll cover one little tip. You might think that this would save you money, but it actually won't. So with that, let's get started. And if you find this video helpful, please subscribe below. It makes my day. Okay, tip number one to save money is do not book directly with Holland America Cruise Line. Yes, you heard that right. Don't book with them directly. So everything else, I feel like if you book directly with the vendor, you're gonna get the best rate. That is not the truth with Holland America Cruise Line. It's cheaper if you book through another vendor. My mom and I always book with vacationstogo.com. It is really easy to join. It's really easy to find the cruises and the prices. It's easier to navigate than the Holland America website, and it's just easy for us, and it's cheap, and it's free to join vacations.com. Whenever we need to book something, we have our Vacations to Go cruise consultant, Chester, and he books it for us. Other vendors to look at are Costco. They have really good deals on cruises, as does BJ's if you live in the Northeast. You can buy AARP gift cards for a 10% discount and then use that to buy your cruise, or you can work with your travel agent. Just to give you an idea, one time when my mom and I were on a cruise, we talked to the Holland America cruise consultant for a future cruise and they gave us a price. And then we went to vacationstogo.com and the price was like $600 less per person for a 1-week cruise. The price was dramatically different. So don't book with Holland America directly, book with a third party. Okay, tip number 2, and some of you guys might hate this tip, is really think if you need to get the Holland America Have It All package. So the Have It All package is a great package on Holland America Cruise Line. It includes a shore excursion credit. It includes dining at one of their specialty restaurants. It includes up to 15 drinks per day, and includes free Wi-Fi as well. So it does give you a lot. I'll be creating another video on whether it's worth it or not. It does give you a lot, but it's also $55 per person per day, which for a 7-week cruise is $770. So I round that up to $1,000. Usually that's how much it is per person for my mom and me when we book a cruise. So it is a lot of money. I would think about like, do I really need the free Wi-Fi? Yeah, it's great, but you get service in most of the ports. Do you really need to eat at the specialty restaurants? Yes, they're nice, but the main dining room is really, really nice as well. Do you really want to book a Holland American excursion? If you're just going to the beach, you probably don't need it. Are you really going to drink 15 drinks a day? Maybe if you drink 4 drinks a day, it's worth it. Yes, for sure, because that includes tips. But just think about it in general. If you're not a big drinker and you don't need all the perks, you can just not get the Have It All package and save yourself quite a bit of money because both passengers in the cabin have to buy it. All right, the third tip to save money on your Holland America cruise is to skip the Holland America excursions. So, quick note, if you are traveling to like a foreign country and you're going to be on a bus ride 2 hours to get to where you want to go, Holland America, it might be a little bit safer to book with the cruise line directly in case there's horrible traffic getting back. Also, when you're going really, really far, it's usually cheaper for the transportation to be on like a bus than for you to pay a taxi to take you and your partner somewhere. But in general, skip the Holland America excursions. Instead, I recommend you book an excursion with shoreexcursionsgroup.com or Viator.com. Both of these travel companies get really, really good reviews, especially Viator.com. Now, I'll say what my mom and I personally do is we usually go to the Caribbean a ton, and we just walk off the boat, or walk off the ship, I should say, and we hire a local taxi driver to take us to the beach. That always works really well for us. Or you could pay a local taxi person to give you a tour of the island. That tour will probably be way cheaper than a Holland America bus tour of the island, and it will also probably be a lot more personable. So that's just my recommendation. Also, you can use tripadvisor.com. So when my mom and I have done snorkeling in the past, I've booked that through TripAdvisor to find a local company and then just book with them directly. So I would say if you want to like go to the beach, go snorkeling, go on sort of like a boat tour or a I already said snorkeling tour, but like on a catamaran with lunch or something like that, or just see the local island, all of those things are really good things to book directly through a vendor that's not Holland America Cruise Line. Again, it depends on where you're going. One time my mom and I were going somewhere where you were like, forgot what it was called, but on these like canopy things through the rainforest, and it was like a 45-minute drive to get there. In that case, it was actually cheaper to book directly with Holland America because it included the transportation with a group, and they got group tickets to do the rides. But generally, don't book with Holland America directly. Okay, the fourth way to save money on your Holland America cruise is through their stock credit program. If you buy Carnival stock, you can then get 100, it depends on how long the cruise is, but generally for like a week, it's a $100 onboard credit on your cruise ship. So we use that for like gratuities, or my mom always loves the hydrotherapy pool. You have to buy, I think it's $1,500 worth of Carnival stock. So it's quite substantial, but it is a way to get on board credit. And if you cruise with Holland America or any Carnival ship frequently, I recommend that. Tip, they recently switched to Stockperks, which is an app on your phone to submit the onboard credit. It used to be you emailed Holland America and they could process it within 2 weeks. This time I processed it within 2 weeks and I got rejected. So if you do that, just submit it like a month ahead of time, way in advance. Okay, the fifth way to save money on your Holland America cruise is do not book any hotels with Holland America Cruise Line. Book with the hotel directly. So I always recommend for basically any cruise, unless you have a direct flight to wherever the cruise is leaving from and you can be like landing by 10:30 a.m., I would recommend flying up a day ahead of time because you never know if it's going to snow, you never know if flights are going to get canceled. And Holland America cruise ships leave early now. They don't leave at 4 anymore. They leave at like 3 p.m. So anyway, book with the hotels directly. So if you're a Hilton member, book with a Hilton and use your Hilton rewards. Same with Marriott. A lot of hotels have AAA memberships. Ask for a discount for that. And also, if you book directly with the hotel, what I always do is book way in advance, and then like I'll call them every month and be like, hey, what's the current price? And if the price has gone down, I can cancel the old reservation and make a new one. That's just what I personally do. So book any hotels directly with the hotel. Okay, the sixth way to save on your Holland America cruise vacation is to just take an Uber to the cruise port terminal. In my experience, it is cheaper than any Holland America shuttles. It's cheaper than a lot of hotel shuttles. And it's just more convenient. I don't like waiting on, maybe this is just me, I don't want to wait for 10 other people's luggage to get on the shuttle and off. I don't want to worry about having to show up on time somewhere. My mom and I always take Uber. It's always very easy, it's pretty affordable, or take Lyft. I have both apps on my phone. I always recommend that. So for example, we fly out of Fort Lauderdale a lot. It's usually around $15 from the airport to the cruise port terminal. So very doable price-wise. Okay, the 7th way to save money on any Holland America cruise is to say no to the spa. Okay, so I know you're on vacation, and if you enjoy the spa, go to the spa and get a massage. But I find it to be pretty expensive, especially they're like manicures and pedicures. I think the cheapest pedicure last time I went was like $60. And then it's a 20% tip on top of that. And I was like, gosh, I could get a mani-pedi at home for less than that. So I would recommend, if you want to get your hair cut, if you want to get your nails done, if you want to get a massage, do that at one of the cruise ports. But in general, just say no to the spa. Also, if you must get your couple's massage, be aware that on some of the Holland America cruise ships, they will try to upsell you quite a bit. So the greenhouse spa, which is the spa in all the Holland America cruise ships, is like a third party. It's not Holland America exactly. So they upsell quite a bit. So if you do go to the spa for a massage, say no to any extras that they might try to sell you to save money. Okay, the 8th tip, to save money on your Holland America cruise is look at your cruise account frequently. So in your stateroom on the TV, there is the option to view your account and see the daily charges. So you will see the daily gratuity amount being subtracted. You'll see any beverages that you buy, like coffee, or any excursions that you paid for. Everything will show up on your account, or it should. And you will quickly see how you can easily spend lots and lots of money on the Holland America cruise. So I would just recommend check your account online. Also, you want to check it anyway every 3 days. We always ask for a printout 3 days before the last day of our cruise, or like 2 days ahead of time. You don't want to be one of those people with a problem with your account and then be in a long line at guest services to get it fixed. So check your account anyway to save you time. When you're the last day of the cruise, you don't want to be in line at guest services. Okay, the 9th way to save money on the cruise, and don't hate me for this tip, is to avoid the specialty restaurants. Now, the specialty restaurants they changed the price, so don't quote me, but they cost between $25 to $50, I think, for the Pinnacle per person. Now, I will say people love the specialty restaurants. They seem to really love the Pinnacle when I talk to them. And Rudy's Day, I can't pronounce it, Samar. People love the specialty restaurants, but they do cost extra, and it is going to add to how much your Holland America cruise vacation costs. I will say my mom and I always dine in the main dining room. We get a table by the window. We always love it. It is great. So if you want to go to the specialty restaurant, spend the money, do it. But just know, if you're trying to save money and keep your total cost as close to the actual cost of the cruise, that is something that you can skip. I guess I also didn't mention drinks on any of this. I guess if you drink less, you'll spend less, but I didn't want to include that as one of the main tips. Okay, the 10th tip is skip the ship's Wi-Fi. Okay, so you might not like this piece of advice either, but I will say on most Holland America cruise ships in port, you're probably gonna get free text messaging. You're probably gonna get Wi-Fi. If not, you can probably find a Starbucks or a local restaurant to get Wi-Fi. So I'll say I've cruised with Holland America 10 plus times, 15 times. I've only paid for their Wi-Fi once, and that's because our last cruise had something like 3 sea days in a row and I was about to go crazy. So I paid for Wi-Fi on 2 of those days. If you do pay for Wi-Fi, get the surf package, which is the middle tier that gives you internet at a really good speed. You just can't watch YouTube. You don't need to buy it for the whole week. Just buy it for the sea days when you truly need it. I recommend, if you can, just don't be on your phone. Like, you're on a cruise ship. Enjoy the entertainment, read a book, play cards, talk to people. So you don't really need Wi-Fi. Deplug from work. It's a great excuse not to do work. Again, everybody's different, but if you want to cut costs, skip the Wi-Fi. You don't really need it. Okay, the 11th tip, which is not a tip, but it's a note. You might be thinking, Christina, like, you didn't talk about the best time to book a cruise to save money. Why not? It's because I did research and I could not find a trend on when it's cheapest to book a cruise. A lot of people say 2 to 3 months out is the best time. So I guess book it then. But some people told me, I booked it 344 days out and it was great. I booked it on Black Friday and got a great deal. I booked it early, really early, and prices just seem to go up. So I don't think there is a great time. I know 1 week before a cruise leaves, it's often cheap, but that might be an interior cabin or a repositioning cruise or not like your ideal itinerary or your favorite ship. So I don't think that's a main tip. We usually, my mom and I probably book our cruises about 5 months out just because that's how far in advance we think. But I guess 2 months out is the best time, but not including that as a tip to save money on your Holland America cruise because I don't think the tip's really helpful. Leave a comment if you find it helpful, if you know like a good time. Okay, so let's summarize the 10 ways to save money on your Holland America cruise. Again, if you found this helpful, leave a comment below. I probably forgot a tip or 2 or 3 or 4, so please leave a comment below with your tips to help your fellow friends and cruise travelers save money on their Holland America cruise. Okay, tip number 1, do not book with Holland America. Book with somebody else like Costco or vacationstogo.com or your friendly cruise consultant, and they'll probably give you like add-ons like a $100 onboard credit. 2, think about the have it all package. Do you really, really need it? Yes, it is a nice package, but it's also $55 per person per day, which for a week is $770. That's a lot of money. Okay, 3, skip the HAL Excursions. Now, it depends on where you're going and whatnot, but I recommend most places, especially like the Caribbean, just book with TripAdvisor or look at Viator for like international trips, people like shoreexcursionsgroup.com, or just hire a local taxi. Okay, 4, get the Carnival stock to get your onboard credit. 5, book with any hotels directly. 6, just take Uber or Lyft to get to and from the cruise port. 7, learn to say no to the spa. If you do go to the spa, say no to any extras. They try to upsell you a lot. 8 is look at your cruise account daily because it's so easy to spend money. 9, avoid the specialty restaurants. If you really want to go to them, go to them. People do seem to like them, but it will save you money if you don't go. 10, skip the ship Wi-Fi. It's good, but do you really need it? And then 11, I don't know if it will save you money, but maybe book 2 to 3 months out. And ta-da! That's it. Please again, leave a comment below and I'll be posting more videos, so subscribe to get notified when they become available. Thanks, guys.